Throughout history, countless artifacts have challenged our understanding of the past. Ancient machines, lost manuscripts, forgotten temples. But few objects have inspired as much mystery and controversy as the crystal skulls. Carved from clear quartz, polished to an astonishing level of detail. Some believe they are thousands of years old. Others claim they possess mysterious powers. And for decades, they have been surrounded by stories of lost civilizations, forgotten knowledge, and supernatural legends. But what is the truth? Our story begins in the late 19th century. European museums and private collectors developed an enormous interest in artifacts from ancient Mesoamerica. The civilizations of the Maya, the Aztecs, and other cultures fascinated the world. As archaeological discoveries increased, so did demand for rare objects. Among them, crystal skulls quickly became the most famous. The best-known example is the Mitchell-Hedges crystal skull. According to the story, it was discovered in 1924 during excavations at the ancient Maya city of Lubantun in present-day Belize. The discovery seemed extraordinary. The skull appeared almost perfectly carved from a single block of transparent quartz. Its proportions closely matched those of a human skull. The lower jaw was carved as a separate moving piece. Light passed through the crystal in remarkable ways. Under sunlight, the entire object seemed to glow from within. Almost immediately, stories began to spread. Some claimed the skull was more than 3,000 years old. Others insisted it had been created using techniques impossible for ancient craftsmen. Legends soon followed. Some believed the skull possessed healing abilities. Others claimed it could store forgotten knowledge. A popular myth even suggested that 13 ancient crystal skulls existed. According to the legend, if all 13 were reunited, they would reveal hidden wisdom capable of changing humanity forever. Books, television programs, and documentaries repeated these stories around the world. The mystery grew larger with every passing year. Yet professional archaeologists remained cautious. One important question continued to surface. Where exactly had the skull come from? The original excavation records were surprisingly incomplete. No detailed archaeological report clearly documented the discovery. That uncertainty raised serious doubts. Meanwhile, other crystal skulls began appearing in museums across Europe. The British Museum displayed one. The Musée du Quai Branly in Paris possessed another. Private collections revealed even more examples. Some looked remarkably similar. Too similar. Were they all genuine ancient artifacts? Or were they something else entirely? The debate had only just begun. As scientists began studying the crystal skulls, the mystery took an unexpected turn. For decades, many people believed the skulls had been carved by the ancient Maya or Aztec civilizations. If true, they would represent some of the most extraordinary artifacts ever discovered. But science asked a different question. Not, are they mysterious? Instead, how were they made? Researchers from the British Museum, the Smithsonian Institution, and other leading museums examined several famous crystal skulls using powerful microscopes. What they found surprised everyone. Tiny parallel scratches covered the crystal surfaces. These were not random marks. They closely resembled the patterns left by modern rotary grinding wheels. Ancient Mesoamerican craftsmen did possess remarkable stoneworking skills. They shaped jade, obsidian, and quartz using sand, water, and patient hand polishing. But the microscopic tool marks on several crystal skulls appeared different. They suggested the use of metal tools and high-speed polishing techniques unavailable in pre-Columbian America. The evidence became even stronger. Chemical analysis showed traces of modern polishing compounds on some skulls. Researchers also noticed that certain anatomical details reflected European artistic styles rather than authentic Maya or Aztec traditions. The shape of the teeth, the proportions of the jaw, and parts of the eye sockets matched modern human anatomy more closely than ancient Mesoamerican artistic conventions. If the skulls were not ancient, where had they come from? The investigation led historians to 19th-century Europe. During that period, the market for ancient artifacts expanded rapidly. Collectors were willing to pay enormous sums for rare objects from Egypt, Greece, and the Americas. This demand also created opportunities for skilled craftsmen. Historical records repeatedly pointed toward antique dealers in Paris and London. One name appeared again and again: Eugene Boban, a French antiquities dealer who specialized in Mesoamerican artifacts. Boban handled several crystal skulls during the late 19th century. Although no evidence proves he created them, many historians believe he played an important role in introducing them to collectors and museums. The mystery became even more complicated. Not every crystal skull shares the same history. Some have well-documented ownership records. Others appeared with little or no archaeological context. Without a verified excavation, it becomes extremely difficult to determine an artifact's true origin. This distinction is crucial. An object without archaeological context may still be old, but proving its age becomes far more difficult. As scientific evidence accumulated, many museums quietly changed the way they described their crystal skulls. Instead of presenting them as ancient Maya artifacts, they began identifying them as objects of uncertain origin, most likely produced during the 19th century. Yet, despite these findings, the fascination never disappeared. Because even if the legends were exaggerated, one question remained: why were so many people willing to believe them? And why do the crystal skulls continue to inspire mystery more than a century after they first appeared? The answer may have less to do with archaeology and more to do with the human imagination. More than a century has passed, yet the crystal skulls continue to capture the imagination of millions. Today, they can be found in museums, private collections, books, films, and documentaries around the world. Some visitors see extraordinary archaeological treasures. Others see beautiful works of art. And some still believe they hold secrets beyond modern science. Among the most enduring stories is the legend of the 13 crystal skulls. According to popular folklore, 13 ancient crystal skulls were scattered across the world. When reunited, they would reveal hidden knowledge capable of changing humanity forever. The story inspired novels, television series, and blockbuster films. It became one of the most famous archaeological legends of the 20th century. But historians have searched carefully for its origins. No ancient Maya text mentions 13 crystal skulls. No Aztec manuscript describes such a prophecy. No verified archaeological discovery supports the legend. Most researchers believe the story developed during the 20th century, growing through books, popular culture, and repeated retellings. Even so, the legend refuses to disappear, because it speaks to something deeply human. The hope that forgotten civilizations left behind extraordinary knowledge. Modern science offers a different perspective. Quartz itself is a remarkable natural material. It is durable, beautiful, and capable of being polished to extraordinary clarity. Creating a crystal skull requires immense skill. Even if many examples were carved during the 19th century, they remain impressive works of craftsmanship. That alone makes them worthy of admiration. Their true value may not lie in supernatural powers, but in the questions they inspired. How do legends begin? Why do certain stories spread across generations? How can an object become more famous than the evidence surrounding it? The crystal skulls remind us that history is not shaped by artifacts alone. It is shaped by the stories people choose to tell. Today, scientists continue studying museum collections using advanced imaging, microscopic analysis, and spectroscopy. Each new examination helps separate historical evidence from myth. And with every discovery, our understanding becomes a little clearer. Yet one mystery will probably remain forever. Not whether the skulls possess hidden powers, but why they continue to fascinate us. Perhaps because they stand at the crossroads of history, archaeology, art, and imagination. A place where facts meet legends. As light passes through clear quartz, the skull seems almost alive. Reflections dance across its surface. Shadows shift with every movement. For a moment, it is easy to understand why so many extraordinary stories were born. Perhaps the greatest mystery was never hidden inside the crystal itself. Perhaps it has always existed within us. Our curiosity, our imagination, our endless desire to believe that somewhere, just beyond what we already know, another discovery is waiting. Whether masterpieces of 19th-century craftsmanship or misunderstood historical artifacts, the crystal skulls have earned a permanent place in history, not because they answered humanity's greatest questions, but because they continue to inspire new ones. And that may be their greatest mystery of all.